like the hand that feeds you. Run your friends, man. Now what do you need, man? You killed my like a soul. And what's wrong? You could call a soul. And what's your trade? You can't stay on a puppet dog. What's you really need? You wanna find at the level there?
I'm not like you, don't hate me, it's just a point of view. When did we become divided by hate? What have we done? Divided state, don't hate me, because I'm not like you.
Come on now, what's happening? All around the world. Happy Easter. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. I hope everything is going well for you in your mission. In your timely mission here on this planet. What's going on? Good to see everybody. Gregor, what's happening in Scotland? I'm sure the weather is beautiful in Scotland. Yeah. Super Strike 9. All right. Spiky, what's happening? All right. Good. It's that kind of a party. Good to see everybody. Larry Kelly, what's up? Kenny Clark down in San Diego, what's up? Hey, John. John Burry in the UK. All right. The gang's all here. Even Astoria Lou. From where else? Tuning in from where else but Astoria, Queens. So, yeah. You know, somebody, you know what? You know what's going on today? You know what? Somebody had to, thank you. Somebody had to remind me of this today. I am celebrating 15 years clean and sober. Today, 15 years. I'm trying to balance out the previous 30 years of absolute lunacy, fights, and getting arrested. trying to create some sort of a balance in my life here. So 15 years goes fast. Time flies when you're not inebriated. Yes, thanks. Crazy. Speaking of being inebriated, what's up, man?
What's up? Happy Easter. And congratulations.
15 years, bro. Listen, bro, I know you're happy because you know what? If I started drinking and drugging, you'd probably be the first guy that I'd track down and punch in the face.
I've seen you on the warpath sober.
Fuck, man. Shit. Can you imagine what I was like when I was using? Forget it.
Well, I didn't know you that well back then. I knew the band, but I didn't really know you on a personal level. Trying to remember when I actually first met you.
It was a while ago.
It's in jail.
It was at Rikers Island.
That's right.
Photo of the day.
Photo of the day.
Here you go. From Stephen Messina, photo of the day. There you go.
A tradition.
An Easter. It's an Easter tradition on the show already. You know.
Well, it's actually all the holidays. This is part of every holiday we throw.
Can you identify that item at 12 o'clock?
Yeah, that's our artichoke.
Okay.
Yeah, you
got. I think I I think I understand everything else that's going on here.
You got some cheeses, some pepperoni, some peppers, and you got the good green olives from Castelvetrano. I mean,
oh, you Italians.
you know, yeah, no, that's a very meticulous thing. Every holiday begins with a little bit of antipasto. So,
right.
You know.
Gina says marinated artichokes.
There you go. She knows.
Yeah, everybody, look. Alex Smith, artichokes for the win.
They know.
You know? Hey, look, Ty says, as a sales rep for Boar's Head, great job on that.
Do you know I had family in Boar's Head for many years, actually. There's a lot of Messinas in the Boar's Head history.
And last night you went out and I saw some music too last night.
Yes, that's right. Well, you go first. Where did you go last night?
I was down on the Jersey Shore. I went to Salty's and I saw, speaking of craziness, I saw Furia 5 and Demise play their first show in 30 years.
Oh, wow. How was Demise?
It was cool. There was like 7 bands on the bill.
That's cool. How long did they play?
Hold on. Let me just say something. If you're going to put 7 fucking bands on the bill, I got news for you. I have the patience to watch about 5 minutes of each band. So basically, put 7 bands on, you get 5 minutes. Put 6 on, 7 minutes. Put 4 on, you get like 20 minutes. Fucking 7. Who the fuck puts 7 bands on a bill?
You need like a trapdoor switch. Next.
Fucking set. I don't give a fuck if it's goddamn. I don't give a fuck if it's the Clash. I got if it's 7 bands in.
Well,
you know what? I take that back. If it was the Clash, they get like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I was over at a place called Heaven Can Wait, which used to be Coney Island Baby.
And you saw this. And what is this?
This is a band called Atomic Life. This is actually only their second show. And what ties them into this particular show of ours is there's a lot of ties here. Adea, the lead singer, a lot of people might remember, briefly replaced the Reverend Nicky Bullets in Car Bomb Parade while he was on sabbatical.
That's right.
And the drummer, who you can't see,
I got another shot you sent me with the drummer. Go on.
Yeah. The drummer is from the Dillinger Escape Plan.
Oh, right on.
And the guitar player is actually the bass player in Glassjaw. So there's a lot of pedigree here. These guys, it's a brand new band. They played their first show in Philly 2 nights ago, and their second show last night in Heaven Can Wait. And I believe the next show is at the Bowery Electric Map Room. So
a place that we know pretty well.
Yeah, they sounded really good. I mean, she's a really good singer.
Yeah, she's a good singer. Yep, absolutely.
Really good players in the band, and very cool, very different kind of. It has almost like an artsy post-hardcore quality to some of it, But it was cool, and like those guys, like she even said, like trying to get the shows together when he's not out with Glassjaw, that kind of thing, But
got it.
Really good stuff. And, and I know that our friends, played out. The Car Bomb guys played out in Massachusetts yesterday. So there's a lot going on yesterday.
There's a lot going on in this world.
That's right.
But you know what you have to look forward to?
Suffering.
You know what I see in your future?
Uh-oh.
Hold on. This is what I see in your future, my friend.
Actually, by the time I go back upstairs, it's.
No, I have a technical question here.
Yes.
Seems like there's two pastrami things going on here, right?
Pepperoni.
So does that mean pepperoni is like a fan favorite?
Yeah, it definitely is. And sometimes what we usually do is 1 pepperoni and 1 super salt. but I guess nobody got the superstar this time around. So, which I prefer myself.
Everybody, I got to get up on this artichoke's heart thing, huh?
That's right. That's right. Well, I told you, Drew, and I'll say it again. One of these days, we're gonna get you and Ro over for on one of the Messina holidays.
Let me get me and Vampira will come out for Easter.
There's always room at the table.
I appreciate that, my Italian friend.
So
listen, my Italian friend.
Right.
I'm Irish.
I'm Irish and German.
Well, my.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Oh. Well, let me tell you something, my Mick Wop, my
friend. Yeah. Johnny Fontaine never gets that picture.
He's never getting that picture, Johnny Fontaine. All right.
Well,
thanks for making me laugh. I'll talk to you soon.
Happy Easter, and I'll see you in a bit.
Okay, take care. Well, there you have it. Stephen Messina, the Hardcore Shutterbug. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, The Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, and Mad Vintage. Mad Vintage buys, sells, and collects band shirts, primarily hardcore. The DIY operation has started and is operated by a hardcore kid who just loves collecting and eventually got into vintage clothing, specifically the realm of vintage band shirts. They are always looking to buy out collections to either keep, sell, or trade. New shirts added daily at www.madvintage.com and posted on Instagram. Dig deep into that closet, reach out to them, make some dough for yourself. Mad Vintage. That said, let's clear the deck. Let's get our guest on this Easter Sunday. Let's make sure everybody's okay in the chat room. Nobody's killing each other. Dan Neese, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Yes, Chris Hoffman. Happy Easter to you too, brother. Actually, I'm English, Irish, and Dutch. Is that a thing? English, Irish? Is it Irish or is it English, Irish? I did not know. Clear the deck. Let's bring our guest on. Here we go. Today's guest is an American composer, drummer, illustrator, and visual artist hailing from the Empire State of New York. He's known for his work with the bands Dig That Hole, Cop Shoot Cop, Human Impact, The Audio Dyslexia, The Body Lovers, The Children, That's Far Enough, Angels of Light, and, of course, Swans. Please welcome, coming at us from the windy city of Chicago, Mr. Phil Pulo. Hey, man.
Howdy.
How are you? Good. How's things in Chicago?
A little overcast. It's okay. Warm. It's getting warmer.
I remember Chicago. I remember being in Chicago in the winter, and it was no joke.
The wind is no joke.
The wind coming off that lake, I remember it went right through me. It was cold.
Yep.
Brutal. Let's get right into it. How did you come up? Did you grow up in a musical household? How did music come into your life?
Yes. My dad played guitar all the time. He played harmonica to records. Every Sunday he'd play. My one of my grandparents, he was a guitarist in the 1920s.
Wow.
And he played a lot of supper clubs in Newark. And my great-grandfather was a French horn player in the Metropolitan Opera Company in New York.
You mentioned Newark, back when Newark was a hotbed of musical.
It was a hotbed. Oh, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Newark was incredibly vibrant in that era. So growing up around music, what was the first music that really kind of came across your radar screen that you were exposed to, that you connected with?
Well, there's videos of me as a toddler dancing to the Beatles. So
there you go.
One thing. My brother also had a band, a garage band. So I used to sit in and play with him sometimes when I was really young. But as far as bands, probably the band Chicago was a real favorite of mine when I was growing up. 6, 7, 8 years old, listening to that
Terry
stuff.
Kath.
Oh yeah, all
Yeah.
those guys, great drumming. What else?
Chicago is on my bucket list of bands that I've yet to see and that I want to see.
I almost saw them last summer, but missed it.
I think it's just the 3 horn players.
Oh really? It's left?
Yeah. It's no, and the keyboard player. What's his name that sings Saturday? What's his name? The keyboard. Forgot his, I'm sure somebody out there.
Someone help us out.
Yeah, hold on. It's real easy on this show. What's that keyboard's name in Chicago that's still in the band? No, 25 or 6 to 4. That's Peter Cetera.
Oh, is he dead?
No, he sang that. He's the one. He left the band and then had all those kind of schmaltzy hits.
Yeah.
In the MTV sort of era. But yeah. So I'm sorry. I sort of sidetracked there on the Chicago thing. Oh yes, here we go. Alex Smith figures, right? Robert Lamb. Robert Lamb. He's still in the band. Yeah, I'd like to see them. I've had grown an appreciation for them fairly recently. There was a good documentary about them. It was interesting. What else? Chicago?
Oh, all the Who, the Doors,
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, all the heavy hitters, Led Zeppelin. My first single was "Knocked 3 Times" by the Captain and Tennille. So or whoever.
Knocked 3 times on the ceiling.
Tony Orlando and Dawn. Yeah, that's it.
Twice on the wall. If the feeling's not as strong.
Twice on the pipe.
Twice on the pipe.
Yeah.
If the feelings. Yeah, that's right. Tony Orlando. Did you grow up in the tri-state area?
Yes, New Jersey.
I did as well, and we've mentioned this many times and I think we're about the same age. Is that FM radio was incredibly vibrant back then, and there was just this stuff was all over the place, and that's the rise of like the classic rock stations,
Yep.
So why drums? Why did you pick up drums?
It was just, I don't know. I had a predilection to them. I guess like all kids, you start banging on pots and pans, and I guess I was good enough that my parents kind of encouraged me to keep going.
That's great that your parents did that.
Yeah.
When I asked for a drum set as a young person, it was deemed to and my dad, in the end said he really regretted not getting me a drum set when I wanted a drum set at 9 years old. But yeah, they didn't. I think my mother was a little spooked. So that said, when you first started playing, what drummers inspired you?
Oh, yeah, like I said before, Keith Moon and John Densmore. Later on, I got into King Crimson. Bill Bruford was probably my favorite drummer.
Wow.
Of all time, and Keith Moon just for his insanity and
yeah. Bruford was those early Crimson albums with Bill Bruford. Yeah, great. I saw them when they got back together with Adrian Belew. It was really great.
Yeah,
on that
times. Great.
Yeah, what was that? Discipline.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was really good. Yeah, saw them live a couple of times on that tour. It was very good. Was there a did you as a teenager did you did you get right into a band? Did you start bands, or how did?
No, I was a closet drummer.
Is that
Almost,
right?
almost literally. My drums were in the closet for many years,
Uh-huh.
and I stopped playing probably from, I don't know, 3rd grade to end of high school. But I never really joined the band until I went to college.
Right. And you went up to Rhode Island School of Design. You went, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
What brought you up there?
I guess the need to get away from home.
You too?
I mean, I got accepted to Parsons in New York, and I didn't want to commute to school, and I just heard about RISD and gave it a shot, and I got in, so I went there. Yeah.
And what were you studying up there?
Illustration. Yeah.
Which is something that's carried through. I mean, something that you've always utilized and carried through even to the present day, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, when you were up in Rhode Island School of Design, isn't that where you met Todd there eventually, who was in Cop Shoe Cop with you?
Yes. Yep. We met at it was a dance class, and we were providing beats with bongos and things like that. And one day he walked in and started banging on a chair, and we were actually playing with each other rather than just kind of randomly banging on drums. And we got to talking, so we like the same industrial bands, Test Department and SBK, Throbbing Gristle, and all those. So we pretty much bonded on that.
And did you start playing together soon after that? Was he? Did he have a band up there, or was that when you guys kind of? I'm making my way to dig that hole, but was there something? Was there something before that?
Yes, he was in a band with John Spencer from Blues Explosion called Shithouse.
Right?
Called Shithouse, and it was very Test Department like. And I played a show or two with them, and also Todd played in like a cover band. That one of our first shows together was a birthday party, and we just did a bunch of covers, and it's a lot of fun.
Yes, there you go, Paulie. We are Shithouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a statement, man. we are Shithouse. Which kind of brings us to dig that hole, and here's I guess an early flyer.
There you go. Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of overlap here, right? Because dig that hole, pussy galore, right?
Yeah.
What's the origin of dig that hole? How did it come together?
Well, we used to be called the Bored Stiffs in college, and then we changed the name and moved to New York. A guitarist, John Rose, who's a good friend of mine now. He lives in Chicago here with me. And yeah, it was just a 3-piece. Dig that hole. That's it. I think we had one show. I think this is the only show we ever done. And then we split up. We had another guitarist for a little while, but it didn't work out.
And this being at CBGB.
Yeah.
In what looks to be about 84, 85.
No, probably 80, 87, 88, I think. Okay. Yeah.
Were you living? Did you move back? You moved back to New York around this time?
Yes, I graduated in 87, and we moved to Brooklyn, Williamsburg. We all squished into a small.
Oh, you all did.
Well, a bunch of us, not just the band, but other friends from college. And I think that place is probably going for $4,000 a month now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
Right on Bedford and Broadway.
Oh wow, sure, I'd say so.
Yeah.
That place, yeah. I mean, I remember Williamsburg back then. It was a little different, you know.
To say the least.
Yeah, but then again, we're talking about CBGB and Lower East. We're making our way to Cop Shoot Cop, but Lower East Side was a little different too in the '80s. So,
Sure.
what? I'm sorry.
I said, sure. Yeah, we used to. Eventually, we started rehearsing on Avenue B and Second Avenue. That's Second Street.
Oh boy.
In the Pussy Galore basement studio.
That wasn't Sukasa, was it?
No, I don't think it had a name. It was just a basement.
Okay.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah, we didn't go down to Avenue B much unless we were going to Cop or something. Like we didn't. Avenue B was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was the forbidden zone.
It kind of was. I mean, when I was in the High and the Mighty, we would play A7 a lot in the early '80s. We play A7, but like you kind of wouldn't go farther east than that.
Yeah.
No real reason to do that. So how did Cop Shoot Cop get together? Was there a game plan? Was there a business model?
No. It was dig that hole, lost the guitarist, and let's try something else.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just basically Todd and I think we wrote maybe 3 songs together, and yeah, that's the basic band right there.
Yeah.
But our first keyboardist was Dave May, and he's also a RISD person. And we tried it as a 3-piece for a while. And at some point we played a show at Jim's loft space and saw that he had a sampler and a keyboards, and he was cool, and Nats we found sleeping in our rehearsal studio. He was slightly homeless for a little while.
You found him sleeping in the rehearsal studio?
Yeah. He lived there. He lived there, sort of, crashed there. And he was in a band called Black Snakes.
And we know him because he was in the Undead. Back in the day.
Yeah.
He was in the Undead, and he was in a band called Virus with James
Virus,
Contra.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I remember him. But,
with Richard Kern and as the Black Snakes.
Hmm.
So he was in that band, and we just fell in love with him. And he's a great bass player, great singer. So at one point a 5-piece.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Astoria Lou asks, who came up with the name Cop Shoot Cop for the band?
I guess Todd and I did. Todd wanted to call the band Shoot Cops. I don't think so. So he's just doodling names, and he's a graphic designer as well, and he just thought the 2 names, bookends with cop looked cool, and copping drugs, shooting drugs, copping more drugs. That's kind of where we lived in places like that.
Yeah,
there are drugs everywhere.
Yeah, that area, that Lower East Side, was riddled with drugas back then. This shot here, I see in the background there, and just kind of like looking at this venue, and just knowing what I know about the band. I mean, we mentioned CBGBs, but like just the circuit. I think the circuit back then, was like the Pyramid, downtown Beirut, places like this. I got it. And then there's this one here. I pulled a shot of this place. Like this is sort of a forgotten New York City venue of that era. How about Lismar Lounge?
Oh, that's yeah.
You met you got yeah.
We played there.
Yeah, it was a funky ass place, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
The horror.
Yeah. That place. Yeah, they will make them like that anymore. And
No.
then I think it was like I think there was a graveyard right behind it too. If I remember correctly, that like weird like graveyard. And then here's another one. These kind of harken back to. I'm just trying to set the table here with like that era and like the kind of places that were around to play. You know,
Yep.
Downtown Beirut and stuff like that. Who were your contemporaries when Cop Shoot Cop started rolling back then in you know
Pussy Galore.
Mm.
Unsane.
Chris, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can Honeymoon Killers. That's Boss Hog. Just all those bands kind of bled into each other.
Fetus was Fetus was it right?
Yeah, Farewell was around.
And
Swans.
Rat at Rat.
Red R. Yep.
Yeah. Did Helmet come into play at some point?
Helmet was a little later, kind of when all these bands got signed. The Nirvana.
Yeah.
Rush there.
Did Helmet lead the charge once they signed that?
I was actually Sonic Youth led the charge there. Yeah.
That's right. Because they signed to
Geffen.
David Geffen. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, Dan, I love all those bands. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Let me think. What else? The any just kind of going through the Cop Shoe Cop records and stuff. I guess the classic, you call it the classic lineup. White Noise sort of reverberates. And any recollections recording that record? Does anything really stand out?
White Noise. Jim Thirlwell produced a few songs on that, I believe. Yeah, I don't recall.
Yeah,
I recall more from the Consumer Revolt record, which was before that.
Okay.
That one we did in 2 days. We recorded and mixed everything. So that was like kind of like an all-nighter or 48 hours straight kind of thing.
Where did you record it?
At Martin Beese's.
Yeah. When you and then eventually you guys end up on Interscope, right?
Yes.
Was that a traumatic event?
Yes. Well, it's the story of how we actually got signed is kind of funny because we played a show in Boston. It was our last show of the tour. And I found out later that someone came up to Nats and handed him a card and said, I'm from Interscope Records. Really love your band. And he kind of just threw it back at her. Like he just didn't believe it, or I don't know.
Right.
So she had the wherewithal to follow us to Amsterdam, which is our next show, like a couple days later. And at that point, she talked to Todd, who was a little more, a little more open,
a little more cognizant to, hey, let's.
Yeah, I think it was just after the show, and some stranger comes up and says, "Hey, I love your band," and he just got turned off right away.
Fuck you.
Well, it wasn't that bad, but it was just okay, great, and he kind of walks away.
Yeah, it happens, right?
But then we got signed. So,
what was the general census on? Like, were you guys excited? Interscope? Was it
cautiously,
yeah, cautiously excited, right?
very cautious.
Yeah, and the first thing was the Suck City EP, right?
Yes, yeah,
And then ask questions later.
right.
Yeah. Any recollections in that process?
Well, we almost got arrested. That was pretty fun in L.A. It was during the Rodney King riots, and we pulled into town to do a show, and the show got canceled because of our name. They didn't want to. It was at a college, USC, I think, and we, they thought it better of, us not to play during that time with a band name called Cop Shoot Cop. So we got paid, and we went out to celebrate getting paid and not playing.
Right.
And the place was locked down pretty good, and we walked by this armored car with a bunch of guys on the top with machine guns, and I heard one of them say, "Oh, there's eight individuals walking across the street," and I thought they were just checking people, like getting a visual on who's out there. So we go to this sushi place. We have dinner, and we're almost finished, and cops pour in the front and the back, demand us to get up, and
what?
What this is about. We're like, I have no idea what's going on. And apparently what happened was we parked the van in front of Daryl Gates, the captain of the LAPD. And our van is painted in camouflage. So they assumed it was some kind of truck filled with C4 or something like that. So they tracked us down. It took them long enough to find us. I don't know why it took them that long, and they put us in handcuffs and questioned us and searched the van. Helicopters everywhere, and amateur videographers trying to get cops saying, if you hear an explosion, shoot to kill, things like that. So it's a little frightening.
Yeah, I'd say so. Considering this on the heels of the Rodney King thing,
Yeah, it was pretty.
And it wasn't like it wasn't like there were any reforms to the LA police right after it. That took a while.
Took a while, yeah.
Yeah.
But the police, one of the police head detectives came up to us and said, if you write a song about this, let me know. And he gave us his card. And he had a sense of humor. He had a sense of humor.
Funny you should say that. Paulie Pork Chops Vid says, did that experience ever turn into a song?
Not really, no.
Yeah. We were just happy we fucking got out with our asses.
We got out alive, and have a nice story to tell.
Alex asks, where did that van end up?
Oh, hi, Alex. I think it's growing plants inside of it somewhere, parked in New Jersey. Like it just got returned to Earth.
Right.
Someone, I gave it to a friend of the band's, and he somehow got it started, drove it home, and just left it in his driveway. And it just kind of, he told me last time I saw him, he said there were plants growing out of it. So
it seems like Cop Shoot Cop, like never made it easy on themselves. I mean, even kind of hard to categorize. And the name, like, did you feel like you were like it was?
Stupid?
What?
Stupid.
I don't want to say that, but
Shooting ourselves in the foot, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, is that fair to say?
Yeah, not only with the name, but our some of our choices, and we had a lot of opportunities to tour with other bands, and we turned it down because of our artistic integrity.
I've been there. Yeah. We went through all that when we were doing our we had when we were doing music videos in the glory age of music videos. We only do music videos for bands that we believe in, or and then once we were offered a couple of videos that we turned down that ended up being mega blockbusters. We kind of once we kind of rethought that.
Exactly.
Is that right? Was there a Nine Inch Nails invitation?
Yeah. Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson. But we broke up before that ever. There wasn't even a yes or no. It was just the band split up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was very little bit of talk of being on Trent Reznor's label, but it was just too late.
Right. When as Cop Shoot Cop kind of winds down, did Todd leave and then you guys kept going on for a bit?
He left during recording of the last contractual record that we had with
Is that Release?
Interscope. No, it's this other one so we did this record, and Todd left the band, and then we recorded 4 more songs as just the remaining members.
Sure.
And tried to pitch it to Interscope. They said no. Yeah. And a friend of mine put it out, and it's called Red Expendables. That's the name of the project.
Is that based on the Star Trek guys?
Hey, nice. You got it.
Hey, man. Yeah. So for those that may be wondering out there what that reference is, in Star Trek, whenever like some new face shows up when he's wearing a red shirt, basically he's like the next guy. He's like going to get killed in the next scene. Like the Gorn is going to kill him in the next scene. Right. So that's what the Red Expendables were taken from, and so that kind of winds down, and you guys.
That was it.
That was it. Was it? I'm sure it wasn't a great time. Was it a painful split in the end there?
Yeah, pretty rough. But that's it's all behind us now. Everything's cool.
It's like that Star Trek episode where like they go back and then they go, well, if we changed one thing back then we wouldn't be here right now. And right. Like to use the start, right? So we're happy with the way things have worked out.
Exactly.
Yeah. That kind. And here, I guess this is one of the last kind
Pain is good. Pain is good. Right?
Yes. Yep. I guess this is one of the one of the last ones. When Cop Shoot Cop was kind of on the way out there. So
that was weird. That one. That's an early one.
Is it an early one?
That's super early because it says Dave on there, and he wasn't.
Let me find that again. Where is that? Cop Shoot Cop flyer. Here we go. Yeah, I kind of thought it was a later one but maybe it's an early one here. There you go. Boom. Says, oh yeah, Dave. Interesting. Weird. What language is that? Or is it just?
It's probably Japanese-ish. You got to hold your phone up to it and see translation.
Yeah.
Translate.
Oh, Alex. Of course, Alex says that's from the head kick era.
Yeah, it's that old.
Yeah. Japan.
Yep. Japan.
Yeah.
So that was our first tour, believe it or
Ah.
not, was Japan.
Was Japan? Were you well received in Japan?
Oh yeah, rock star. First tour ever, we were rock stars.
That's exciting.
All downhill from there. Yeah.
You know, it's amazing when you get out of the 5 boroughs what might happen.
Oh yeah.
You know, shit.
We did 2 shows in 9 days, I think it was. I think we bankrupt our the touring company.
What did you do? Would you do like Tokyo and Osaka within 9 days?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Tokyo, Japan on a budget.
Yeah. It was
Japan's
great.
always great. I've been to Japan a couple of times with bands. It's great. It's a little bit of traveling, you know, but it's great. You know. Let me take a sponsor break real quick. Let me get this out, and we'll come back and let's talk about what came next, and let's make our way to Swans. All right.
Okay.
I'll see you in a couple.
All right.
This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Our guest today is Phil Pulo from Swans and Cop Shoot Cop and much more. We're going to be get your questions. We're gonna probably finish on time today. It is Easter Sunday. So here's a word from our sponsors. We'll see you in a minute.
Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Will that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Hey guys, Vlad from Organic Grill. As you can see, we're in a new location on West 3rd Street, right by Blue Note and Comedy Central. The place is bigger, kitchen is bigger, we have more varieties, more food. We are looking forward to treat you guys with great dishes. All Hardcore Chronicles, welcome to Organic Grill. We are going to serve all the events as we usually do, and we are happy to see you guys.
Peace, what it do? Welcome to NYHC Comics at 117 Main Street, Dobbs, Surrey, New York. I'm Debo the Pro with my homie
Lee Farley.
Welcome to the spot. Specializing in yesterday's and today's comic books, rare CGCs, toys, collectibles.
Got skateboards, old school tapes, Magic the Gathering, Warhammer.
Video games, original art pieces by your favorite New York City and worldwide artists. Let's go. Skate decks all day, baby.
We also have the young reader section here for like 10 and under. The Pops. People love the Pops.
Star Wars! We are New York Hardcore. We always rep the scene. Let's get it on.
And we're back. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. I want to mention a couple upcoming shows. This Wednesday, April 3rd, Bob Chaparty will be on. Concrete Marketing Foundations Forum. This is going to be a good step to the past. Wednesday, April 10th, Cliff Crochet from The Freeze will be on. John Connolly of Nuclear Assault, co-hosted by Howie Abrams, Sunday, April 14th. Wednesday, April 24th is once again a new music show. We'll be spotlighting a bunch of stuff that's coming out. We're going to march a bunch of people through the show. Sunday, April 28th, Sal and Dan, the brothers from Electric Frankenstein, will be on the show. It's like a Sal party. Sal's on the 28th, and another Sal is on the 5th. Of course, Sal from Typo Negative, Life of Agony, A Pale Horse Named Death, and King of the Locusts. Sunday, May 12th, Peter Spirer, a name you may not be familiar with, will be on the show. He's a filmmaker, he's a musician, he's an author. He has a book out called The Book of Rhyme and Reason, Hip Hop 1994 to 97. He executive produced the Alago film that I did. He has a history in music videos. Me and him did the Propane Pound for Pound video together. And he also used to play in a band called Z Toys in New York City back in the day. So I have a rich history with this guy, lots to talk about. This one has yet to be announced. Yes, another former member of Minor Threat is coming on the show. Steve Hansgen from Minor Threat, Government Issue, Dot Dash, and Poisonous H will be on. Going to talk some more Minor Threat stuff. Wednesday, May 29th, Chris Enriquez, who just was announced. He's a part of Orange 9mm now. He's also in Spotlights, Grazer, Light Tower, and On the Merit of Princes. So all this and more, as Steve Baders would say. And yes, for those that are wondering how to support the show, there is a Patreon page. Please support the show on Patreon. There's a PayPal address there as well. Do a super chat. Just get with the program and support those that support you. That said, let's clear the deck. Let's bring our guest back on, Phil Puleo. Hey, man.
Hey.
Everything all right?
Oh, yeah.
So Cop Shoot Cop kind of disbands there. What do you do next? What's next on the agenda for you?
After that, I go to work. I worked as a graphic designer, web design. During the .com boom in the 90s. So I was doing okay. And then all that crashed.
Did you think your music career might have been over? Were you still doing stuff? Was it sort of, I kind of had that run and I'm looking and it's time to, start something total, different?
Yeah, pretty much. But I started playing with, let's go back.
Please.
I didn't do graphic design right away.
Mm-hmm.
I started, I got asked to play in Kid Congo's band, Congo Norvell. And
oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, so I did a summer. I took the place of Jim Sklavounis for one summer. And that was great, playing with Kid and Sally. And that's where I met Bill Bronson and Paul Wallfish, who Paul Wallfish played in Swans. Bill Bronson played in Swans. So we did a show with Michael. Michael was Michael Jarrah. He was doing a spoken word from one of his books. And he was looking for a band for Swans for the next tour. And he loved how Bill and I played together.
Was this after he sort of like put Swans to rest for a couple years? Was this when he was sort of looking to reconvene, or was this before that?
This is before. This is 90s.
Okay.
96, 97.
Right.
So he asked Bill Bronson on bass and myself to be in the next Swans, and we did. And that's when the band split up. That's when Swans broke up. And then I played on the first Angels of Light record. And after that is when I started doing graphic design more steadily and websites and things like that. Photo
In the
retouching.
in the hiatus.
Yeah. So I did that for quite a while, and I was in other little things. I played with Jim Coleman on a
Right.
couple of his projects.
Was that audio dyslexia?
Yes, and also Filer, which is his solo thing. And we did a tour as Filer with Pigface.
Yeah,
That was
sure.
that was fun.
Yeah, that's Martin Atkins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
that was interesting tour.
That's the Martin Atkins circus, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's four bands, I believe, and 3 of them were in one bus. And
Yeah, there's like 30 people in that band, right?
yeah, it was crazy. It was fun though. I got to play drums with Martin side by side. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, our friend and supporter Joel Ghostin played in Pigface. I know there's a lot of people in and out, but he
Yeah.
played some drums with them as well. You know, so then Swans goes to bed for a while, and then he pulls it back together. What was that? 5 years later, something like that.
About a dozen years. 2009, 2010 is when he asked me to join again.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, Angels of Light did I'm not sure how many records, 5 full records. And I played on the first one a lot and the last one a little bit. And that's when, yeah, he asked me. He said, I want to play loud music again. I said, okay, I'm ready.
And then eventually that kind of led to this record, correct?
Yes, that's the first one.
Yeah, it's a great record, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great. It's just as a sort of a side kind of a sidetrack thing. I directed the Michael Alago film. I guess Michael Alago signed Swans to Uni in 1989 and did the album The Burning World.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, Alago signed him for, I guess when Alago was A&Ring for Uni and did that record.
Oh.
Yeah. But Michael Alago's always been a really big fan of the band. And I called him before the show and I said, "Hey, do you know our friend Dana Schechter's in the band?" He goes, "Yeah, where you been? Of course."
Yeah, where have you been?
Listen, I'm in the trenches with this hardcore shit,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I hear you.
It's like
Keep an eye on everything,
it's like a scrum. It's like a rugby scrum, this thing of mine, that I'm involved in. Could you give us any perspective on this record, recording it or your thoughts on it?
We did a song a day, which is great. We had no idea what it was going to be like. He had acoustic versions of things, and he just Michael just orchestrated us. And yeah, we did a song a day. Yeah,
you recorded and mixed or just recorded?
Recorded. And
yeah, you can't.
We wrote, recorded, and did overdubs in one day, each song, and then he mixed it later. Yeah.
Do you get involved in the mixing process at all?
No, I stand clear.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. I think. Let me rephrase this question a little bit. Do you, with Swans, do you guys have any input or like how do you define your role in that band?
As a interpreter, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We interpret what he wants, and then it's just a lot of it is trial and error. You know, like we'll come up with stuff on our own, or we'll say play something simple, and then we'll play it simple, and then he'll say mix it up a bit. You know, it's a give and take. But he is the director for sure. There's no question.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I feel our input is needed because he asks us back all the time. So
and you've been playing with him. Yeah, I've been playing with him a very long time now. So there's, you know, it's obviously there's you know there's some sort of a what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Unspoken. There's an unspoken.
Thank you. I was going to dare I say camaraderie, but
unspoken language.
Right.
A lot of hand signals. Like live is all. A lot of it is improv. A lot of it is, like as I said, hand signals. You know, just mixing things up, making it interesting for us, and making it interesting for Michael, and backing his vocals is very important to him, and just keeping the music alive and exciting.
Has it gotten easier through the years?
No.
Yeah. Right.
No, it has actually. Yeah. It can be really fun. It can be absolutely horrifying, but
yeah.
But when it's fun, when it's good and fun for the band, it's you know it's you can't compare it to anything.
Yeah. And is there? I think also, you know, there was a little bit of a revival and an appreciation. Like we always talk about, kind of the things are, you know, art is cyclical in nature. You know, things kind of go round. Are there, you know, going out and doing these tours? I know we'll talk about you guys going out again, but are there any places sort of that really, when you see it kind of on the itinerary, that have really taken to Swans, and you're like, oh, great, we're going back there? They just love it. We love that place, and they love us.
I think this past time, I think it's been Poland has been really good.
I've heard that a lot lately. Yeah.
Poland. I don't know, just everywhere.
Eastern Bloc.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Czech Republic, you know, Prague, everywhere.
I like this picture. This reminded me of the famous picture of the band up at Woodstock picture.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You know the picture I'm talking about?
Yeah, and that is taken in Woodstock, or
really?
Very near Woodstock. We rehearsed in a barn up there.
I'm trying to find that picture now. Oh, here, yeah, where they're sitting. Well, it's sort of. Yeah, here it is. Hold on, let me.
We look so young.
You know, black and white, man. You know, black and white will do that.
15 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I found the pictures, in Elliot Landy picture. Yeah. Sure. Taken from these. This isn't the exact photo that I'm talking about, but it's from, I think, this session here. Let me it would be this is too small. Fuck. All right. Well, I'm determined now. Let me see. Let me try this one. Yeah, I'm kind of striking out. Fuck. Anyway, back to the task at hand. The band's a little bit different now, right?
Yes. Yeah. That was the first reincarnation of the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a New Riders of the Purple Sage feel to it, like these photos.
Pretty frightening.
It's great. Yeah. Yeah, Slander Bob says, I got my Swans tickets April 14th, RVA. I'm not sure what RVA is.
Oh, that's the racket place,
Oh.
maybe RVA. Oh, I don't know.
What's
Oh,
hey, what?
Richmond, Virginia.
Ah,
I think we're playing there.
let's see.
That makes sense because that's early in the tour.
Come see the Swans at the capital of the Confederacy, Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Swans US tour. Here you go. This is coming up. Let me just give this a. There's US and then there's Europe, right? Yep. He says, yep, Richmond.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll see you in Richmond, Slander Bob. And yes, Alex, Racket used to be the Highline Ballroom. So there you go. That said, let me what else? Hey, let's you know what I want to touch on? Who's on the show? Could you give us some perspective on human impact?
Yeah. What kind of perspective? We're
Just
not in the band anymore. Or Chris.
Yeah, I know, but when you were a band, what brought it together? How did it play out?
Well, Jim, myself, and Chris Pravdika, we started playing, just jamming together, and Chris Spencer, I believe, wanted to get in on it, and Jim was open to it, and we were all open to it, and yeah, so yeah, that's that. We never played with Chris Spencer before, all the years that we've known each other, and it was a good experiment, I guess.
Somebody sent me this shot of you playing in that band, and I shot.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a recording in Hoboken. Yeah.
Yeah, nice shot. Talking about some of your other stuff before we take a wow, I just, you know what, I found this one here, just going through the stuff, not to digress, but this is a Cop Shoot Cop flyer. This one, remember Tramps?
Wow.
Remember that? Tramps. Yeah. Oof. That was a weird friggin' venue, man.
I'm trying to remember. I
was
remember the name.
Yeah, it was right off like between 5th and 6th and 21st. Yeah, weird place.
Wow.
Yeah, not to be confused. What was the other one? SOBs or S? Yeah,
SOBs. Wasn't that Varick Street?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never played there. I think that was more.
Yeah, it's only $5. Yeah, well, it was a while ago. Dano says, I remember the Human Impact album coming out around the time of the first lockdown. Will forever remind me of those strange times.
True.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that picture didn't have me in a mask, because I did wear a mask during the recordings. I guess we took it off just for appearances, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a strange time. This show started during the pandemic, so some good came out. Some good came out of it in my world, you know. That said, the current lineup of the band, this is featuring your art, right?
Yes. Yep.
I like this. It's great. And like I said, our friend Dana Schechter is in the band. Is she playing pedal steel?
Lap steel and bass.
Okay.
And bass, yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, lap steel. Yeah. And this is the current
lineup.
Yeah. Right on. Which just are you busy with your art these days?
Not at the moment. No, I think I have a couple commissions coming up. I just have to get in touch with people. Yeah, that's actually Michael Gerard's dog, Freya.
And you take commissions primarily people, animals.
Yeah, dead pets or living pets, cats, dogs. I'm hoping to do people soon, but
Right.
I have to put the word out. Here's the word. I'd love to do some people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Portraits.
And
People as animals would be really fun for me.
and here's another one. And anybody out there, feel free to reach out to Phil. His address is scrolling underneath.
Instagram.
Do you? I assume I know because I sort of know a little bit about this world. Hear from people kind of like out of the blue sometimes. Like, could you? And they send you like a photo, like.
Yeah, that's what I get photos sent, and then pick a price point.
Yeah.
And then, the size and all that, and when they need it, and yeah, so it's fun. It's good to know other art that I've made is out there.
How did this like sort of get started? Like, how did this get traction?
I have parrots, not here with me. They're back in New Jersey, but I started painting them, and our Swans' booking agent noticed the paintings, and they wanted me to do their dog, so I painted their dog, and just word of mouth.
Yeah,
So
that's how
I've done about over 100 so far.
Yeah, I recommend anybody out there check out Phil's Instagram and definitely his website because he's done quite a few and they're great. So
thank you.
Yeah, they're great. I was like, wow, this was out of left field. I'm like doing my homework, like, okay, all right, Lower East Side, this and that, and then I'm like, whoa. Yeah,
I'm a hardcore dog painter. That's what I am.
Who would have thunk it? Yes. Courtney asks, ever painted a Boston Terrier? Do you do commissions?
I do.
Yeah.
Send to my Instagram.
Yeah, right here, Courtney. His real easy Instagram at Phil Puleo 666. The mark of the beast.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yes, check Instagram.
For sure. After May, I'll be available mid-May, from mid-May to whenever.
Because is it
the tour? This U.S. tour ends in May, middle of May.
Then don't you have? Is this is Europe, right?
U.S. Well, that's Europe.
Europe is when in October. When is that?
We just got back from that.
Oh, that's the one you just got back from. I'm sorry. Yeah. How was that trip?
Incredible. Yeah, really long. It was a long trip.
I see. I'm looking at the dates. Frankfurt, Madrid, Barcelona. Yeah.
It was a long tour, but it was good. And we at the end we recorded the next the basic tracks for the next Swans record.
I assume it's a little more civilized touring these days now, as opposed to in the Cop Shoot Cop days.
Yes. No less tiring, but yeah, it's a little more civilized. We get treated like human beings.
Yeah.
For the most part.
That's good.
Yeah.
There is some justice. There is some justice in the end.
It took 30 years, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's
what are you gonna do?
Was there any UK dates, Darren asks?
In the summer we did the UK. Yeah, August, I believe. August, September.
Gotcha. Hey, let me take a real quick sponsor break, shout out a couple sponsors, and come back, and let's take some questions from around the world, okay?
Okay.
All right. There you have it. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Our guest today is Phil Pulo. Questions? Any questions? Post them now. Come on, go deep, get weird. We are sponsored by blah, 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 and 126 Hardcore Clothing. They're a streetwear brand for restless individuals who don't compromise. They're about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Get in touch with them. Ramp up your game at www.126clothing.com. Last but not least, certainly not least, the Texas Silver Rush. They're a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Roulé, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. Information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. Hey, want to mention some upcoming events that are going down. This Friday at Generation Records, big friend and supporter, Satan himself, Northside Kings author Danny Marianino is coming to New York City. He's doing a book signing. He did the book Don't Ever Punch a Rock Star, and It Blows My Mind 1 and 2. That's this Friday. This Sunday, I will be moderating the Ray Capo book event at Generation Records, From Punk to Monk. Come on down. This is before their show, before the Shelter Civ show at Bowery Ballroom. Hey, Danny Diablo's 420 party is happening on 4/19. I guess it's 4/20 at midnight. That's happening at, what is this? The Wood Shop. I'm not familiar with this venue in Brooklyn, but a couple days after that, I'm doing the Ray Capo book event up at Bridge 9 Records. That's Saturday, May 20th, once again. All ages free Sunday matinee in the old spirit of the CBGB's matinees on Joey Ramone Place at the Bowery Electric. Sunday, April 21st. This is the next show. Come on down. Bring that wife and kid. Fahrenheit 451, Kings Never Die, Brick by Brick, The Car Bomb Parade, and Faded Line. Jesse Malin benefit, Go Go Bordello, Madball, Murphy's Law, The Captures, and War Orphan in Tompkins Square Park on April 27th. That is going down. Come down and support this great cause in Tompkins Square Park. Art show up at Bridge 9 Records, Mike Gallo, Lori Dawn, Christopher Michone, Saturday, May 4th. And then, of course, we got the Black and Blue Bowl on May 9th. Is it the 19th? May 19th. Man, yeah, I mean, you're doing a flyer like this. How about putting the friggin' date where you can read it? May 18th. And then the next day is May 19th. Make the date really teeny. Saturday, May 25th. In our beloved Tompkins Square Park. Free show, of course. Rebelmatic, Incendiary Device. It's going to jump off tonight. Non-Residents, Cartel, and Redwoods. Rampage Fest is June 2nd. Upstairs, downstairs at the Bowery Electric. This is an event that is not happening yet. We're trying to coordinate it. As we talked about when Paris Mayhew was on the show, we're looking to do an evening with filmmakers. Paris Mayhew and myself, Drew Stone, at Nighthawk Cinema. Paris is working on a feature film. We're looking to reschedule the date and figure it out, but hopefully we're going to get this together and we'll be announcing it soon. And then last but not least, of course, Sunday, July 21st, back to the New York Hardcore Roots 50th show at the Barry Electric, free all ages Sunday matinee, Incendiary Device, Sworn Enemy, Cropsey, Redwoods, and Foul Pride. So there you go. Lots going on. Please post your questions out there, worldwide audience, for our guest, Mr. Phil Pulo. Here we go. Let's see. All right. Listen, you ready? Here we go.
You don't like that laugh.
Yeah, it's a little demonic. No, it'll be okay. Let's see. Okay, Tia, thank you. What has the Swans experience changed for you personally? Is Swans the most important process you went through as a musician? Good question.
Very good question.
Yeah.
I would say yes. Yes. The process it's important. It's an important process, a tough process. Changed me personally. Oh God. Just, I don't know. I'm speechless. How about that? Very speechless. A lot of ums. I'm umming it.
It always changes us personally.
It does. Yeah. I mean, I think differently about art and music and life in general.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Met a lot of people, a lot of different. What would you say? Just, it's good to get out of the country. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Get out of the country. Get out of your element.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
F shit up. You know.
Yeah, yeah. You can curse on the show if you so desire. Do you know if an incarnation of the song "The Beggar" from the new tour will be on the next album, or will it just be a live song like "The Knot" was?
It will be an incarnation of The Beggar. Yeah. So what happens when we go on tour, we take songs from the previous record,
right,
and we warp them as we tour, and they become a new song. So there's a lot in The Beggar itself. I think when we first started the tour, it was a half hour long. Now it's about an hour and 15 minutes long. So all of that music within that original piece is now a new piece. So it's all improv, on the fly, and
is literally like the chord structure, like the chord structure changing and stuff like that? Is it literally
everything?
Everything. Okay.
And it's kind of spontaneous, which is great.
Sure.
I mean, that might answer Taya's question as well. Yeah. It's just the music becomes spontaneous. Now, like I said before, that's what we try and do, is excite ourselves and
sure
push we could fail miserably, which is fine, but just making it exciting. And so The Beggar is, like I said, it's now an hour and 15 minutes long. It'll probably be an hour and a half at some point. But when we recorded it in sections, and Michael is going to arrange it in a way that makes sense, and it'll be different than the live version that we've been playing, but all the basic bits are there, and they were all written live, pretty much.
Spontaneity.
90%.
In the moment,
and that's one of the joys and pressures of being in Swans, is being in the moment.
Sure.
110%. You can't deviate from it, or the whole thing falls apart.
I mean, Swans has a reputation of, you're not, when you go see see a show, you know you're not going to hear like, you know, the album version. You know that's not happening. You know, it's
No, you're not going
pretty.
to hear it.
Yeah,
And that's one of the selling points for me
yeah,
when Michael approached us again. He's like, I don't want to tour on Filth or Cop
sure.
like other bands are touring on their best records, you know, and doing a tribute to themselves in a way.
Yeah,
And that was a selling point. I was like, oh, good. I don't want to do that either. And
yeah,
even though I never played the music before.
yeah. We're not doing
I would love to
Hotel
play.
California, right?
Yeah, yeah. So he wanted
Yeah.
to do all new stuff. And at the beginning, we had a few older songs that we had to put in just to flesh out the set. But as the tour grew and as the set grew, those songs just fell away, you know. So that was all.
Yeah.
That's basically how the Seer was written. Just
Got it.
on the tails of old songs and new stuff.
Which, yeah, here you go. I actually have that. I have that visual. Boom. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Moving on. Lesson of Life 1970. I saw Cop Shoot Cop on the White Noise tour at the Lounge Acts Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, great place.
Is it? I'm not. And then Dominic says, I remember Lounge Acts with the exclamation point. I've never heard of this venue. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
But it was great.
Okay. What else?
They made really good Bloody Marys.
You remember that, huh?
Yeah.
After years of playing in Swans, how is your hearing holding up?
I won't do the joke. What? No, I won't do that. My hearing is great. I wear earplugs.
Yeah, I wish I wore
earplugs. Pretty. It's going down because a lot of the high end sound comes from this side.
Yeah.
And it, even with the minus 30 dB earplug in, it still has an effect.
Have you worn earplugs since the start? Like when you were in Cop Shoot Cop, have you always worn earplugs?
Always.
Man, I wish I could say that because I wear hearing aids now. I've lost a lot of my hearing, and I never wore I never wore earplugs as like a teenager playing loud, hard music.
Right. Yes, I mean some shows during the Cop Shoot Cop years, I wouldn't wear protection, but rehearsals all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't like that feeling of my ears ringing and just I don't know.
Yeah.
Not so hardcore, huh?
Yeah. No, I wish I would have played it differently. There was talk a while back about a re-release of Head Kick Facsimile. Truth or fiction?
Fiction on my end. I don't know anything about that.
Right.
That would be cool. Maybe. I don't know. We had a cassette at one point, but nothing. No vinyl.
Yeah. Got it.
Don't you have a copy, Alex?
Yeah, Alex, if anyone has it, you do. Right. I
have two, I think.
I saw
my retirement. Those two albums are my retirement.
Yeah, hold on to them. I'm looking for somebody was asking about your gear a little bit. If I could find that, about your setup. Hold on. Okay. Spiky asks, Can he tell what his drum kit setup is like? Brand preference? What type of electronics does he use?
Zero electronics in Swans. Drums, I use Pearl usually. Pearl. Yeah. And Sabian cymbals.
Yeah, that kind of ties in with Daryl. Is there a brand of China crash cymbals that you use on your kit?
Yeah, it'd be the Sabian one. Yeah, I mean they tend to crack, but this one's been holding up, knock on wood, for a while.
Right.
Tours.
Imagine that they make cymbals that crack.
Yeah.
It's like making it's like these phones that you get a year out of before they're not.
Right.
You got to go out and buy another one.
Yeah.
The game is rigged. Epic Clam. What piece of art that you've made or participated in making are you most proud of?
Yeah, probably being in Swans for sure. I mean, I'm not a core writer or anything, but I do feel a part of it the most. You know, it's a family.
Right on.
For better or worse, as they say.
Dewey said, you guys skipped over the journey from the Who and the Doors to throbbing gristle. Yeah, well, we do that sometimes.
Wow.
I guess we did, it's like
Observant.
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
Should I go into that? Well, it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know what happened. What happened? They were intertwined. In my mind, they're intertwined.
Let's see. Did you ever get into wheat pasting, flyers, and graffiti?
What's that?
Did you guys ever go out like pasting flyers up and cop? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
We put them on cop vans.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not me. One of us did.
Right.
But yeah, we pasted forever, all the time.
That was part. Go ahead.
I think we pasted just the name when the Tompkins Square riots were happening. I think we just went around and put up the name all over the place, just for fun.
I'm trying to get a good LES shot. So yeah, here you go. For those that are kind of wondering, like this sort of era that we keep referring to. I'm just grabbing a couple photos out of the archive, but like this kind of sums up, what we were talking about, Avenue C and Avenue D and sort of the Lower East Side. This is kind of like sums that up,
Yeah.
This is what was going on back then.
Yeah, I mean, if you go in the back of that car, that's our couch.
Right.
We had a car seat couch and a gas tank coffee table
that you dragged upstairs.
Yeah.
Here's another. I think this is literally on Avenue B in the in the 80s. This is what
nice.
kind of look like. But yeah, it was an interesting time in the Lower East Side. What made you want to start painting, Phil?
I've always painted, illustrated since I was a kid. Kind of like drumming on pots and pans. I was painting and drawing and making little war scenes,
Yeah.
Battleships, airplanes, guys getting their heads blown off, things like that. And then I started painting dogs and cats. So
Did you grow up with? Do you have dogs and cats? Did you grow up around a lot of dogs and cats?
just cats. I had a
me
couple of cats growing up. My dad painted our cats. So my dad was a painter as well. He used to paint oil paints, and I was better than him. But I still have his paintings, which I love.
Yeah, I never had a dog. I grew up with cats.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had a dog.
I love cats. And if I wasn't living in a studio apartment in Manhattan, I'd have a bunch of cats.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sort of in that New York quandary of I'm in a rent controlled, studio apartment, and it's like, but believe me,
you gotta keep it.
yeah, it gets pretty old sometimes. Let me tell you, it's like, God, I got to get out of here, But then you can't, shit.
What will your friends think? You gave that up?
Yeah. Couple people ask, do you still speak to Todd A?
Yeah, we actually had a phone call when I was in Europe. It was a business call, but it was very pleasant.
Good. He lives in Turkey, right?
Yeah, Istanbul. And when Swans played there, he helped me buy instruments. Like I bought a weird tambour banjo thing, and
tambour. Yeah,
a tambour, and the duk flute.
Yeah,
but he was great. He was a great host, and so the Kapshu hatchet has been buried. It's gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it nice that sort of all these years later?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. You can't. Things turned out okay for everybody. There's no sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel that way about a lot of things that I used to be very bitter about.
Yeah.
It's okay now. It's all right.
It's a waste of time.
It is. When you harbor resentment, it really just hurts you in the end.
Yeah.
How would you describe? We're heading down the home stretch here. Okay. How would you describe the evolution of the band through all the years and tours since 2010? How do you keep the intensity of Swans? How does it change?
Good question. The questions. The intensity.
Yeah.
The intensity is always high. It's 110%. And the evolution. I think the music has gotten more melodic over time. There's more. The set, I think, is better. It's more dynamic than it was before. Like from 2010 or 2014, the set seems a little more. Yeah, it's just more dynamic. There's more highs and lows. It's still loud and exciting, but there's quiet songs, and they're equally as intense as the loud ones, but just quieter, which is nice. It's just more variety in the set. So that's kind of how it changes. Yeah, just the dynamics from song to song, from set to set, have been increasing in dynamics. There's a lot of times we start a song and we start loud, and Michael wants it to get louder, and I don't know how to make a cymbal louder when you're hitting it as hard as you can.
Right.
I just make a face, and he nods his head. Yeah. He just kind of like he wants the intensity to be visual as well as audio.
Sure.
Auditory. Yeah.
Sounds reminded me a little bit of when I used to see Frank Zappa sort of in his band. Reminds me of that a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Well, Michael is a conductor for sure.
Yeah, when Frank Zappa would conduct his band, it that reminded me of that a little bit. And I guess this kind of plays into the Deepest Purple Club says, how does it feel like to be on the scene playing with an intensity that makes people cry? Why do people cry on Swan shows, in your opinion?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of crying.
Is that right?
Yeah. I think, it's a, I don't know if it's the volume or what, but I think it's a trigger for some people. And, and I hope it's that they feel our intensity coming off and just hitting them right in the face. And they might have problems, they might have some issues. And this is kind of cathartic music that vibrate. It's just the vibrations alone can make you cry or pass out. And people have fainted before. And I don't think it's because of necessarily the volume, but I think I don't know how anyone can stand for 2.5 hours, but that's that's just me. I would pass, just to get a break, I'd pass out,
Goddamn, I love music.
Yeah.
It is such a, it's the tie that binds us together. It's incredible. And I think a lot, it's so tribal in that regard. You see people crying at hardcore shows or at, it's music's emotional.
I cried when I saw Bill Bruford play. So what are you going to do? I saw him play. He's doing this effortless playing. And I was just, it was just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I can relate to that. I've gotten choked up at a couple of things. See, I guess I opened the door there. Speaking of Zappa, is he a Bozio fan?
He's pretty. I liked him in Zappa.
He's a freak. He's
yeah.
Are you familiar with his work with Frank Zappa?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, the Black Page and all that.
Yeah, and I guess Joe's Garage, right? He played on that.
That might have been Vinny Colaiuto.
Colaiuto?
Yeah, Vinny Colaiuto. But Bozio.
I remember him saying. I remember it was a live record, and he said something like he introduced Terry.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, he plays on Zappa in New York, which is one of my favorites.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah, it's got the Black Page and Purple Lagoon. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I've met him a couple times.
But I like his drum sets. They're pretty. They're a work of art.
They sure are.
I saw. We were watching one of his videos on the bus, and it was an all complete cymbal.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's very funny.
Yeah, I've seen that. No, Joe Ackerman says, I dropped a tear seeing Dark Buster play Stand and Deliver last year, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. All right. Listen.
Whatever moves you,
That's why we're here, Joe Ackerman, down in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
He's down in Tallahassee, Joe Ackerman. Yep. That said.
We're staying out of Florida this time.
Are you?
Yeah.
Florida's tough, man.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough play.
It is. What else? Let's see. Good questions, people. We did this. Yes. Yes. Him and Todd are absolutely seem to be in touch. Yes. What else? I mean, this is sort of like which one of your kids is the favorite, but what album of Swans that you played on is your favorite? You You can deflect that any way you see appropriate.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know, Alex. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the glowing man. Maybe glowing man. That one's pretty groovy. The song "Glowing Man" is pretty groovy, and all of the Seer. I think maybe the Seer overall.
If you're allowed to say, what sort of vibe will the next Swans album have? More cerebral, like The Beggar, or more primal, like The Seer or To Be Kind?
I think more like the Beggar. Yeah. Yeah. Closer to the Beggar. A mix, a gentle mix.
Makes sense. I have a visual for this as we sort of head towards home. So, a couple people asked this. I'm not exactly. Is there still a website for Cop Shoot Cop?
Yeah, that's me.
Is it?
There should be, unless I blew it and lost it.
So the whatever, is it www.copshootkop.com?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
I don't have a secure whatever for it. So sometimes Google will block you.
Right.
And you have to do like the advanced thing. But yeah.
Why? Because some. Well, there you go. Hold on. Let me make it big. There you go. Boom. Yeah. There you go.
It's backwards, but.
Yeah.
It's really nothing. I haven't really done much with it.
Yeah.
I just own the name, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we have to be in control of, our facilities, right?
Yeah. I should update it.
Is it? I mean, this is coming from me. Like, do you speak to Nats at all?
Yeah. Occasionally.
I got to get him on the show. I got to reach out to him.
Yeah, he would be great. He's got a different.
Yeah, and he's got that like Bobby Steele Undead, and he was around, like for that all that A7 shit,
He's got a lot of good stories and a different take on Cop Shoot Cop, I'm sure, which would be cool.
I like this one. Last one. What are your favorite illustrators, comic book artists?
Oh God.
Or growing, anybody that growing up, or anybody that
I don't remember any
nothing
from RISD when we used to idolize illustrators. I really don't remember. My good friend Marcellus Hall is one of my favorite artists out there now. He's in a band called White Hassle and.
Mm-hmm.
Marcellus Hall and not the Hitmakers, and the Hostages. Marcellus Hall and the Hostages. But his art is great. He does a lot of covers for New Yorker magazine and all that. So he's pretty well established. But painters, Francis Bacon. I don't know. I like all the classics.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Here we go. Let me just get the tour dates again. That said, anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out on the way out? And thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, well, I have a announcement about this band that you mentioned that I'm in, The Children.
Please.
We have a record coming out called A Sudden Craving. It should be out this month or next month, early next month. Also, during the pandemic, I started a band with a friend of mine, Robbie, aka Bird Thrower. He's in New York, and I'm obviously in Chicago. We send files back and forth, and we created this band called That's Far Enough. And we're on Bandcamp. So that's farenough.bandcamp.com. And it's pretty raw stuff. I think it's funny, but and a lot of it is poorly played, which is part of the shtick. So it's pretty punky.
I like this question that Gina Marie's asking. What's your take on what AI is doing in the art industry?
Oh my God. I don't even know what it's doing.
Oof.
It's doing everything, I guess.
Oof.
But the guy who was Ingo Kraus, who's recording Swans this past week in Berlin, he said a very good thing about AI. He says he thinks it's going to make people get closer to each other, like sort of crave the one-on-one actual live human being in front of us, and the world is going to be get a little more smaller again. In certain circles because we don't know what's real we're on the screens all the time, and I think eventually we're not going to know what's real and what isn't. So to combat that, we're going to be more face to face with people, and more face to face with art, and more face to face with music. And I thought that was very optimistic. I also think it's going to destroy politics and all that other stuff. It's going to put a lot of doubt in people's heads. I think it'll get worse before it gets better, but I like to think it will cure us of some of this impersonal, internet kind of.
I hope so.
I
hope so, because the pendulum is swinging hard in that direction.
Yeah.
It's painful to see some of it,
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling to think, in 20 years when it's, give me AI, give me a new Swans record that kind of sounds like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Give me a new Swans record that's a little, atmosphere. And then, you have it, 5 minutes or whatever later. It's
5 minutes. Yeah. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Injected into your brain.
Yeah. Right. Just scan your barcode that's been embedded into your wrist. That's it. Yeah.
Well, that's my take on AI.
Yeah. Well, what? Yeah, Skynet. Right. That's right.
Exactly.
Skynet. Right. Exactly. John in London.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Yeah. So here are the Swans' U.S. tour dates. They're going to be out there. Once again, Phil, hopefully I'll come down. I'll see you here in Manhattan or in Brooklyn. I'll come see the band play. Maybe I'll come out with a logo or something. Anybody you want to thank on the way out?
No, you. I thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
It was a nice, calm conversation, and on our Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday. Yeah.
All right. Take care, Phil. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Ciao.
Right. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Our guest today from the Swans and Cop Shoot Cop was Mr. Phil Puleo. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a nice, calm show. I gotta have a calm show once in a while to offset some of this other stuff, that's going on. Happy Easter, everybody. Well, thank you, Camille. Thank you. Listen, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Here we go. 15 years clean and sober. Who would have thunk it? I thank everybody for supporting me in my journey. Thank you for enabling me to have a really nice life. I have a lot of people in my life that I love, and including you. It's like, I feel like sometimes it's like this is like fucking Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, you know, including you. And yeah, right. Well, that's what we do on the show, Robert Hogg. You know, we bring people on and we get to know them a little bit, you know. Yeah, right, Alex? It was an interesting show. Listen, I knew what I was stepping into with this show. I did. And, you know, mix it up. Let's mix it up every now and then, you know. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it. Thank you, Paulie. Is that right, Joe? AI scares the shit out of me. Yeah, it's kind of scary. The whole thing is fucked up, you know. Yep. What is that, RS? You speaking on what happened to get C and S? I'm not sure what that means, buddy. Spell it out a little bit. Spell it out a little bit better, will you? You know. Thank you. 15 years. Imagine that. I'm trying to offset the other 30 years of drinking and drugging and fighting and getting arrested. So I got 15 on this side. You know, I got about 30 on the other side. So, you know, it's taking a minute, you know, to balance everything out. But it's all good. Oh, there you go. You speaking on what happened to get... Oh, what happened for me to get clean and sober? Yeah, I don't think we want to talk about that. You know, why go there? You know, it was tough for a long time. You know, but eventually the storm clouds parted, and it was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of hard work for me. It really was. I don't regret it. Of course not. I have a great life, but it was a lot of hard work the first year. You know. Yeah, Robert, coming to New York. Yep. We'll see you in May. Absolutely. That said. Well, good. Well, there you have it. Happy Easter, everybody. Oh, no, I never smoked cigarettes. I never smoked cigarettes. I never smoked cigarettes. I never huffed glue. I never smoked angel dust. All right? I never did ecstasy either. Never got down with that stuff. So, Larry Kelly, my brother, 25 soon. Yes, brother. Of course. Yep. Robert's going to be here for the bowl. He's coming in with his family for the Black and Blue Bowl, so we're going to see him then. Is that right? Today is your 7-year sober date? That's crazy. That's cool. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, you know what? Shout out to Joe Satriani and Steve Vyeth for their amazing show. You know, a friend of mine saw them last night, I think. I want to see them when they come. You know. That said, all right, everybody. Next up this Wednesday, Mr. Bob Chaparty. You know, let me give you a little background here. I got a great history with this guy. You know, he did the Concrete Foundations Forum things back in the day, Concrete Marketing. You know, he produced the Black Sabbath Nativity in Black tribute record. This guy was like an industry giant, has a lot of perspective. He had Foundations Magazine. So this is going to be a really cool show this Wednesday. So we'll see you then. Thanks a lot, everybody. Until then, do good things, and good things will come.